Hi, my name is Naeem, and recently I have visited few countries in Europe, formerly known as Yugoslavia. But when in 1991 Yugoslavia is split into six nations, one of the countries showed up on the world map called Slovenia. I have to say, Slovenia is one of the underrated countries. From the Adriatic Sea to Julian Alps, Slovenia has so many hidden gems waiting to be discovered, such as snow capped mountains, colorful lakes, lush green valleys. So, let's start this video with my favorite place called Logar Valley. It also called known as the Graska Dolina. This lush green valley among the mountains located at central north of Slovenia right at the border of Austria. In fact, to get there we had to cross Austrian border, but nowadays in Europe there is no post check or police check or border check. You can just drive around in Europe here and there. Um, I have to say Slovenia is pretty small country. In general, is that you can pretty much get to any part of the country with a relatively short drive. Slovenia is bordered by Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Croatia. My expectation met when I reached to this valley. No more, no less, exactly the way I imagined. Entry fee for this valley was 7 euros per vehicle. Afterwards, we headed to our Airbnb town called Zirvonica, which was located southern border of Austria, only 10 minutes drive to Lake Bled. This was a small, clean and beautiful village. We mesmerized the stunning view from the balcony of our Airbnb. Next place in our itinerary is Lake Bled. Lake Bled is undoubtedly the most recognizable tourist attraction in Slovenia. Every day, the town of Bled welcomes thousands of visitors who wish to see the picturesque lake surrounded by mountains. Lake Bled Island is the only island in Slovenia which has a church built upon it. Another incredible feature of Lake Bled is its Bled Castle. Bled Castle is a medieval castle, history dating all the way back to the 11th century. It overlooks Lake Bled and you get stunning views of the lake and hills when you get to the top of the castle. We have spent few hours up there and then headed to the town for dinner. Paid parking was available in the town for reasonable price. Most of the streets were one ways, so in case if you miss a parking spot, then you have to make a big circle to come back to the same place. We have enjoyed our dinner and afterwards we were planning to taste the most famous blood cream cake. But unfortunately it was sold out. Yeah, it was our luck. Our next point of interest was Kranjska. Kranjska is an alpine resort in northwestern Slovenia near mountain and glacial lakes of Triglav National Park. This town has plenty of restaurants and it is hub of winter sports near the Versik Park and so many skiing areas. Guess what? We were not able to find Slovenian Lake Bled cream cake at the Lake Bled, but fortunately we were able to find it in this area and I have to say it was delicious and I enjoyed it. Now time to head to mountains to visit Julian Alps. The tallest peak of the Julian Alps is Mount Triglav, which stands at an elevation of 9,400 feet. To cross the mountain range, we'll be using the most beautiful mountain road called Versik Pass, with an elevation of 5,300 feet. On the way on Versik Pass among these mountains, we found a good restaurant right at the correct time when we were starving. We had our lunch there with stunning mountain views, and surprisingly, it was not too expensive. In these mountains, when you find food with beautiful weather and great scenic view, what else we can expect? It was awesome. After lunch, we had to go back to complete our journey on the Versik Pass. That contains 52 hairpin turns, and each turn provides a unique mountain view. It does need driving skills. The road does come with a few unique challenges, but I think no road trip to Slovenia is complete without a drive over the Versik Pass. The road is only open for 7 months a year and closed in winter due to heavy snowfall. Finally, we reached the highest point on the Versik Pass. From here, we were able to see a 360-degree view of most of the mountains in Triglav National Park. Scenery was breathtaking. You can see a big smile on our faces. This location reminds me of Switzerland and Austria, but definitely it is inexpensive compared to those countries. On the way to Tolman Valley, we stopped by Soka Valley to capture a few beautiful moments into our camera. After enjoying and crossing the Julian Alps, we reached to our Airbnb in Tolmin, another beautiful town where clouds and fog travels below the mountain heights. A great view from our balcony. Next day trip was for Mangart Saddle. On the way, we stopped by at River Soka, the most beautiful river in all of Europe, with its distinct crystal clear emerald water. This river is a great place for kayaking and rafting. I should say definitely add that to your Slovenia bucket list if you are planning to visit Slovenia. We were heading to Mangart Saddle. Mangart Saddle is located close to Italian and Austrian borders in Julian Alps, lies at the bottom of Slovenia's fourth highest mountain. It's very popular during the summer months due to its convenient access. This windy road to the summit is paved but very narrow with some brutally steep parts. You should not be afraid of heights and have nerves of steel while driving this road. At points, there is no barrier on the side and drop reaches hundreds of meters down. All this guaranteed an extreme adventure and truly unique surrounding. Unfortunately, we did not make it to the top. We were only a few kilometers away when we end up at the end of the tunnel that was blocked due to snow piled up, and there was no way out, just to reverse the car in the dark and unpaved tunnel. I have to admit that my team was pretty strong, no one peed in the pants. However, after coming out the tunnel, one of our team members left a charity mark in the tunnel by facing their butt to Austria, body in Slovenia, and natural liquid flowing towards to Italy, as this junction was border of 3 countries. We were the only visitor in this area this day, so it was okay. After 5 minutes anyway, we end up in Italy, the place called Lago del Perdil. This lake is not hard to reach, but once you get there, you are rewarded. The water is very clear and the mountains surrounding the place are impressive. And we had a wonderful lunch there with the beautiful view of lake. It was amazing. And sometimes it happens, you don't plan it, but you end up going somewhere else. And that was good. So after this, we have decided to head toward to our next Airbnb at Ardridge Lake. No matter which town or village I stayed in Slovenia, I found it neat and clean. Now, while I'm flying my drone over my Airbnb, so let's talk about a little bit Slovenia. If you're looking for stunning scenery and a landscape that will generally blow your mind, think a little outside of the box. Turn your mind to a country that might not be on your radar. I have to say, Austria and Switzerland are two countries with soaring alpine mountains and lush green valleys. But neighboring Slovenia beats both of them. Slovenia was named the world's first green country. The title was presented back in 2016 along with the declaration of the world's top 100 sustainable destination, soaring mountains, endless green forest, and winding rivers. Slovenia is a surprisingly compact country with a total land area of just over 2,000 square miles. Plus, with top notch infrastructure across roads and transportation networks connecting major attractions together. As I mentioned earlier, Slovenia is bordered by Austria, Hungary, Croatia, and Italy, making it pretty easy to get from or travel to many major European cities. Slovenia is truly one of the safest destinations in the world. The people of Slovenia are some of the warmest in all Europe, welcoming both travelers and adventure seekers with hospitality second to none. If Slovenia is still not in your bucket list, what are you waiting for? Add it now. It's not too late. Wonderworld does exist. Queen of the underground world. Postojna Cave. Postojna Cave is the only place where you can see the most precious brilliant in the form of a cave formation. Welcome to the world's most captivating cave. Take an unforgettable ride on Postojna Cave underground train and experience a fascinating subterranean paradise shaped by tiny limestone droplets over millions of years. For me, this place is out of this world. The experience I had, I couldn't imagine. In the year of 1872, the first cave railway in the world was built in the Postojna Cave. In the past, people visited the cave by walking. The Postojna Cave is also the only cave in the world which has double-track cave railway system. You will explore 5 kilometers of cave, 4 kilometers with the electric train and 1 kilometer on foot. So far, more than 38 million visitors from all over the world have seen Postojna Cave.
Wave Beats Music.
It was believed that a dragon lived in Postojna Cave. The most visited tourist cave in Europe is a place where the Proteus, a human fish or a baby dragon, are once again hatching after 200 years. It can live up to 100 years and can survive more than 8 years without food. Amazing, eh? Brigama Castle is one of the most extraordinary and the most fascinating castles in the world. Built in the mouth of a cave complex at the end of a valley in southwest Slovenia. It was built 800 years ago, and the amazing part is that the castle was partially built in the natural cave and it is connected to the cave system. It is amazingly picturesque, but I would have said a mysterious castle. One and only Pergama Castle. Well, this was our last point of interest in Slovenia as of this trip, and now we are heading towards Italy. And then our journey will be continued to Croatia to visit a few cities on the Adriatic Sea. Thanks for watching and stay in touch. Take care.